but the flame to what's left of our love.
Gives me enough to where I can pick and choose, and I could maybe play the same artist 3 songs in a row, but they're not going to sound like the last song.
Definitely, because they don't have a producer that's, you know, there's some Texas country artists, reggae artists who put out concept albums and things like that now, but they don't have a producer that is trying to make every song sound alike. So most of it's independent, and it's still pretty raw music. If they feel like doing a ballad on a track, they're going to do it. If they feel like doing a blues cut, they're going to do it. If they want to, you know, so that's the beauty of indie. I mean, Americana indie type stuff is just seeing, you know, what that artist decides to do, and the people who actually like artists and singer-songwriters. It's awesome whenever you go somewhere and someone's that you haven't heard of is playing all original music. Like, please continue to play that. And then there's people that want to go up and ask them to play all this. I mean, you've seen it.
Yeah.
They want to hear covers, and it's just like, let the person tell their story.
Absolutely. I've been on that side of it, not on the singing part of it, but I've listened to people, you know, the guys that are playing covers, and they sound really good. And I'll ask you, I'm thinking original. Because you sound really good, but I want to hear you. You know what I mean? And
quarter of the jukebox
and the other side of it is I'm a big fan of this guy, so I'm going to bring him up, and it's Adam Hood. And I don't know if you know him enough, but he has a song he plays at a lot of the shows, and it's called Play Something We Know. And it's addressing that. And it's one of my favorite things to, when I go to a show, when it gets close to the end of a show, if he hasn't played it, I'll start yelling it at him just because it'll put a smile on his face. And I think it's almost funny because if you go to Adam Hood's show and you don't know who he is, you think I'm being a jerk. Because I'm yelling, play something we know, but he knows what I'm talking about. So it puts a smile on his face, and, you know, more times than not, he'll play it for me just because he knows I'm a fan.
You're requesting a song he wrote.
Exactly.
At least you're not yelling out whatever.
Exactly.
The top 5 songs you think of.
And I mean, I do it, and I mean, like, if it was one of those songs he probably didn't want to play, I probably wouldn't do it. But it puts a smile on his face every time I do it. That's, if I can make the artist happy, that I'm, you know what I mean. That's a goal there, and it's a fun song. I'll even put it on the show. I like it so much just because it's one of those songs that just, it's one of those, he was kind of blowing off steam, but he turned it into something good.
You gotta be grateful that they even want to hear you, but it's difficult to learn how to deal with it without, every single night of the week, people, and some of them are like, oh, you mean, how do you don't know that, how do you not know that song?
Right.
It's hard to just take it and go on, but at least they want to hear you, for the most part. But other than that, I like the people that come in and they're just play your songs. We want to hear your songs. We've never heard you before, and we like the songs we've heard so far. We want to know see what you've got. So those are the really great shows, and I do a lot of acoustic stuff because that's how the songs come to me, and that's how I enjoy playing them for the most part. At a full band deal, it's a little more of an act, even if there's some, you have to be tight or you're not going to be able to keep people that aren't really interested in you entertained, and there's just not a whole lot of improv, and it's more about the show and you do your set. But I like the acoustic shows because you can interact with people, and if you feel like playing a cover for them that they ask, you can do that. But when you have a band, it's just a little more structured unless you've been playing together for.
Right.
Because Mike McClure is living, basically, he decided he didn't want to, be a full-time touring, so he gets and he didn't want to mess with labels, so he gets a recording studio in his house and he puts out one album a year, and then plays, his radius is maybe 300 or 400 miles around here, and he can play anywhere he wants because now he's kind of even getting to the point where the younger generations of people don't know who Mike McClure is, and it's like he's one of the people that should be
exactly.
He kind of started this.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be listening to a lot of this stuff, and not so much that him specifically, but a lot of, I mean, your Stillwater days, the early Stillwater days, if he wasn't singing, you know, the majority of the songs the other bands were singing were written by Mike McClure. Definitely. And you can hear that on a lot of the, if you listen to the early live albums, oh, this is Mike McClure's tune, or this is a song I wrote with Mike McClure.
And that's how, you know, we found out, that's how I found out about Mike McClure.
Well, who's this Mike McClure guy?
They're all playing these songs, and then you go find Mike McClure. I get it. I get it. So. And
then there are certain songs, even now, you can hear and you already know it's a Mike McClure tune without them saying anything. That sounds like a Mike McClure tune, or that sounds like, and then just because he developed it, he developed that sound, and a lot of people call it, I had a lot of people call it the, you know, they call it, oh, this guy sounds, they're doing that cross-Canadian ragweed deal. I said, no, cross-Canadian ragweed is doing the Mike McClure deal.
Definitely.
And then ragweed, of course, got their own sound after getting out of that, and unfortunately they had their split up, and then you had the Departed, and the big knock on that was, well, they're sounding a whole lot like the ragweed, man. It's kind of tough for Cody not to sound like himself, and then they even found a way to not sound like themselves anymore, and for, you know, the most part, it was him taking a step back and letting Seth sing on a lot of tunes. I still like the stuff that Cody does, but he's
a rocker at heart, so is Mike McClure. So like, if you turn them loose, like finally, Mike decided, you know, I was with Great Divide for 10 years and loved it, and we played a lot of country, but I'm a rocker at heart, and he didn't try to be anything. He just plays music, and some of them come out country, and some of them come out rock, and some of them come out blues, and some of them come out R&B.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's awesome that he, showed kind of, he wrote the book about how to establish yourself as an independent artist without having to make, you know, he's modest. As far as not going everywhere in a bus and all that stuff.
He's another one. We're going to talk about him, or a little bit more about him. Then I'm actually going to let you sing a song. I mean, you brought your guitar in and everything. I figured I'll be right that you played it a little bit. But I had the pleasure of seeing. I mean, I've seen the Great Divide without Mike McClure. I've seen the Great Divide with Mike McClure. I've seen Mike McClure without the Great Divide. I got to see the reunion. You know, the first one down there in Day was the first reunion. But when he was, I say solo, I mean, he's got him a bass player that's pretty well known too when he does his Mike McClure band, old Tom Skinner following him around. And I'd witnessed Tom not get the recognition that he should have, because
at all.
It was a bunch of young ears, and unfortunately those young ears, if
they don't know that you wrote half of Stoney's album.
I know, who's Tom Skinner, and my idea is, I'm going, that's Tom Skinner. You know, he's a legend. Without taking anything back, the man is a legend.
Definitely.
And I think one of the cooler things, not only just him being humble about it, not, hey, I'm this guy, was Mike walking up to the microphone to open the show, and he said, hey, I'm Mike McClure. What do you want to hear? Because 9 times out of 10, you shout it out. He probably wrote it. If he didn't, Tom did. Kind of deal. You know what I mean? Between the two of them, they have, you know, files full of songs.
Their earlier albums would have 15, 18 songs on them.
So it's just one of those deals to where to have the kind of attitude to where, what do you want to hear?
Still see my strength, 'cause you don't know yet just how easily I break.
My name is Scott Shelby. I think one of the analogies that I've used a few times and got good comments was Scott like the toilet paper and Shelby like the Mustang.
There you go.
So, I mean, you can try to forget it, but it's going to cross your mind later. He said toilet paper.
Where are you from?
I'm from Bells, Texas, in Grayson County, just right on the other side of the river, due north of Dallas. But I live in Stillwater right now.
I saw that hat you were wearing. I was going to ask you about it. We are Stillwater fans. If you're a fan of this music and you're not a Stillwater fan, you're doing it wrong. if I may say so myself.
Definitely the legacy of what that town produced with, you know, the people that kind of launched Red Dirt music. There's some notoriety in there, and there's a lingering musical presence, but whenever I was first hanging around Stillwater back in the day, and it was still even a little bit after Cody and Stoney and Jason all them moved kind of on, there was still a lot of live music every night, and now it's like, I mean, there's a lot of things to blame. I'm not sure, but there's only maybe a couple of places that are really about live music now, and then what's even worse is there's just not a whole lot of crowd support at these places. You'll be sitting in there with legends like, I mean, Lonnie Lavelle or people that have played the Great Divide will come in, and just, I mean, all the people that you know exactly who they are, and there'll be 20 people in there, and it's just, we're trying to rejuvenate it. All of us kind of that are live around there kind of got together, and we're trying to do whatever we can to kind of see what if we can keep it alive. It just feels almost, I hate to say it, but it feels dead.
Right.
So all we have is kind of what's left of it. I'll play, I like playing songs that I more recently wrote. Okay.
Sure.
Let's see how this Martin does today. The song's called Heart of Gold. Well, I ain't got much, but it's all I've got. The sound of the ocean, this old blacktop, the taste of the salt running down my face. This heart of gold never gets the praise. This heart of gold never gets the praise. Yeah, I wish I felt like drinking. I could blame Johnny Walker for leading me astray. Well, I don't know what I was thinking. It's so hard to love you. It's far away. It's far away. In Stillwater Bay.
Stillwater Bay.
everybody.
Scott and Shelby there for you folks. Man, that's good stuff.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming by and taking so much time out of your day to come and spend it with me, man. I'm gonna let you go. I've held you here long enough, held you captive long enough. I do appreciate you coming through. And anytime you want to come through in the future, let me know, and I'll put you on.
I definitely a good time. It was definitely worth every mile that it took to get down here and just to be able to talk to somebody that's passionate about music the same way that I am, and I know that a lot of my friends that are artists are too. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. We'll see you down the road. Good luck out there.
73, they shut the ferry down. Back up the road, a church and a store with a bench full of lying old men. In the middle of a wide spot they call town.